Many thanks for joining us again on the newsroom. The Presidency has denied reports that it has dissolved the Interim Management Committee of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. There has been reports of recent calls by the National Assembly for the dissolution of the committee and the return of the NDDC to the Presidency for direct supervision. But reacting to reports in some sections of the media that the IMC has been dissolved due to the calls by the legislature, the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, said there was nothing as such. The President had in October 2019 set up a three-man committee to create the enabling environment for the forensic audit that covers 18 years of NDDC's operations between 2001 and 2019. The NDDC IMC was later enlarged to 5 in February 2020 by the President following the termination of the appointment of the then acting managing director, Joy Nune, who was replaced by Kemebradi Kumo Ponde. The truth-seeking trip of President Muhammadu Buhari to the Malian capital of Bamako has ended without a deal to suit the country's escalating political crisis. In Bamako with Buhari on Thursday, where former President Goodluck Jonathan, as well as President Alassane Ouattara of Ivory Coast, Macky Sall of Senegal, Mamadou Issoufou of Niger, Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana, and the host Ibrahim Keita of Mali. The day-long meeting with the leaders ended in a stalemate as protest movement clamored for the resignation of Keita amid a long-running jihadist insurgency that threatens to throw the country into chaos. After the intervention failed to seal a deal, Issoufou, upon deliberation with his counterparts, said the Economic Community of West African States would hold a summit on Monday with the hope of reaching a compromise between the warring factions. The Nigerian Air Force says no autopsy was carried out on flying officer Tolulokpe Arotile because the circumstances surrounding her death were clear. Spokesperson for the force, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, further stated that the family of the deceased wanted to move on quickly and did not demand an autopsy. Daramola said this while speaking on a television program on Friday. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force says the case of the late flying officer will now be handed over to the police for investigation and prosecution of the prime suspect, Nehemiah Adejo. Arotile was buried on Thursday at the military cemetery in Abuja. The Nigeria Police Force has identified 3 officers and 1 civilian accomplice who took part in the unprofessional act of dehumanizing a female citizen as shown in a viral video on Wednesday, July 22nd. According to a statement by the force spokesperson Frank Mba, the suspects are currently being detained at the Lagos State CID detention facility in Pantiyaba. In the video, one could hear the officer interrogating the young lady named Towobola following a raid at the apartment of an alleged kidnapper. The interrogation degenerated into very lewd-seeming dialogues with questions ranging from if the suspect was a virgin to how many people she had slept with. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has appealed to residents of the state to exercise patience and bear the discomfort that would be experienced from the 6-month partial closure of the Third Mainland Bridge, which starts by midnight today. According to the governor, the closure is inevitable following physical deterioration observed on the structure after an integrity test conducted by the federal government. Sanwo-Olu spoke on Thursday while receiving the new sector commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps in Lagos at the State House in Marina. The governor revealed that during the period of closure, a lane of the bridge would be open to traffic for vehicles driving inward Lagos Island in the morning, while the other lane would be shut and the reverse would be done for vehicles driving inward mainland in the afternoon, while the other would be shut. Let's take a break here to bring you more stories. Stay with us.
Now believe this corrupting. You know if you touch black man. If you like, gather the whole Niger, come together, make the cough. Nothing.
Which one you want?
Give me V and D.
I beg, get small pieces.
How much you want to give him?
Give me 200.
Take your change now, Ruby.
You don't want your changes.
My people, this coronavirus na serious matter. May una wash una hands regularly. Come use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. If you no see water, wash your hand. Oh, make una sit down for house. You see this virus, so e no get leg. Na we dey waka kurukere. No waka around, make the virus for die. No forget, say the betterment of our people na for your hand e dey.
This message is from the Akinfade Foundation in partnership with the National Orientation Agency with support from MacArthur Foundation.
Welcome back. Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Akin Abayomi, has reiterated that the use of rapid diagnostic tests, kits RDT for COVID-19 testing in Lagos is illegal until the government can validate otherwise. Abayomi, who made this known at a news briefing on COVID-19 in Lagos, explained that RDT kits have a very high risk of giving false positive or negative results, which could traumatize patients. The commissioner explained that the state government had considered the use of these test kits as part of strategies to expand its testing capacity, but revealed or observed that none of the RDT kits submitted for validation passed any of the tests.
Mr. Governor has actually sponsored the evaluation of a number of rapid diagnostic tests that are available on the market. And we have put them through a rigorous validation process in the laboratory, and we have found that all of them have failed. In other words, they do not have high enough accuracy for us to use these rapid tests for the COVID-19 response. The reason for this is because these tests are given a high false positive and a high false negative. What does that mean? It means those tests will tell you that you are positive when you are not, and they will tell you you are negative when you are positive. And as you can imagine, that has serious consequences and has even led to the death of people in community because the tests have shown patients to be negative while indeed they were positive, and because of that they did not recognize the importance of them being moved to a COVID facility and they died in community. So the government has not been able to accredit or pass any of these rapid diagnostic tests at the moment. And let me remind you that neither has the WHO. So it's not a Nigerian phenomenon, it's a global phenomenon. Nobody has developed a rapid diagnostic test that is safe enough for us to use in community.
The federal government has said Nigerian students may be asked to sit for the general certificate examination holding in November if the country fails to meet up with this year's timetable for the West African Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination. The Minister of State for Education, Emeka Nwadruba, made this known at the bi-weekly Presidential Task Force briefing on COVID-19 on Thursday. He explained that the shifts may become necessary since the West African examination cannot be rescheduled for any reason. This is coming weeks after the Nigerian government reversed its earlier announcement on the resumption of schools. It also said no Nigerian school will take part in the West African examination earlier scheduled for August 5th to September 5. Over 10,000 health workers have been infected with COVID-19 in Africa so far. The World Health Organization said this on Thursday at a virtual media briefing. WHO Africa Region Director Matshidiso Moti said one of the biggest challenges in protecting health workers has been the global shortage of personal protective equipment (PPE). There are over 769,000 confirmed COVID-19 cases in Africa, with more than 435,000 recoveries and 16,000 deaths. Western Sahara recorded 4 cases of the coronavirus on Thursday, becoming the last country on the African continent to confirm the presence of COVID-19. The country is recognized by the African Union as its 55th member state, although Morocco claims it's part of its territory. There are now more than 750,000 coronavirus cases on the African continent, with over 15,000 deaths recorded, and that's according to the WHO. All African nations have reported cases, and the WHO warns that the numbers are rising in most of these countries. The COVID-19 death toll in India now stands at 30,601, and nearly 50,000 new cases were reported on Thursday, surpassing that of France on Friday. Now, according to an AFP tally, India's death toll is the 6th biggest behind the US, Brazil, Britain, Mexico, and Italy. It also has the 3rd highest caseload, with almost 1.3 trillion infections. In the past 24 hours, the country recorded 740 new deaths from the virus and 49,310 fresh infections. But many experts say that with testing levels low, the extent of the pandemic across the world's second most populous country may be far worse than officially reported. And away from our COVID-19 coverage, oil prices edged higher on Friday, supported by a weaker dollar. Though tension between the United States and China weighed in, Brent was up by 26 cents at $43.57 a barrel, while U.S. crude futures rose by 29 cents to $41.36 a barrel. China ordered the United States to close its consulate in the city of Chengdu on Friday, responding to a U.S. demand this week that China close its Houston consulate. Now, on this backdrop, the dollar slid to 22-month low against the basket of currencies. Now, a weaker dollar usually spurs buying of commodities priced in dollars, such as oil, because they become cheaper for holders of other currencies. The U.S. economic outlook has darkened in the past month amid renewed lockdown in some states to tackle surging coronavirus. Former Tanzanian President Benjamin Mkapa has died. The 81-year-old passed away in a hospital in the capital, Dar es Salaam. His death was announced by President John Magufuli in a short televised speech on Friday. The cause of his death is, however, yet to be disclosed. Mkapa was Tanzania's 3rd president after independence from Britain in 1962, and he ruled between 1995 to 2005. He has held several cabinet positions, such as Foreign Minister and Information Minister, and also served as ambassador to the United States before he was elected president. Tanzania will hold a period of 7 days of mourning for the late former leader, during which the national flag will be flown at half-mast. To sports now, South Korea will start letting limited numbers of fans back into baseball and football stadiums as authorities seek to restore normality after the coronavirus crisis. The country endured one of the worst early outbreaks outside China, but appears to have brought it broadly under control while never imposing a compulsory lockdown. Social distancing rules were relaxed in early May, and some professional sports, including baseball and football, started new seasons behind closed doors. And now, according to a statement from the Central Disaster Management Headquarters, fans will from Sunday be allowed to fill about 10% of seats at professional baseball games, and the same proportion will be allowed at football matches from August 1st. And that's the latest from the newsroom at this hour. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.